Chapter 7: Balancing Demand and Productive Capacity for Quality Service. Introduction. Balancing demand and productive capacity in service operation helps service companies to gain a competitive edge over others in the market, as if there is anything that makes a customer move onto your competitor, then it is poor and slow service, having to wait in queue and being disappointed not getting served. Overview. Managing demand, molding demand patterns through marketing mix elements, managing capacity, stretching capacity, aligning demand and capacity, strategies in modifying demand to match existing capacity, strategies in adjust capacity to meet demand, increase demand to match capacity, productive service capacity, yield management, waiting lines and queuing system, different types of queues, psychology of waiting time. Content. Service organizations must consider the different factors that affect demand and capacity. These factors may result in a condition that pose challenges to managers in maintaining the productive operation of the company. Most service organizations are faced with the predicament of having fixed capacity and unpredictable demand. Unfortunately, as discussed by Zeitam, Bittner, and Gremler in their book Services Marketing, 7th edition, 2017. At any given moment, a service organization may face any of the following conditions. First, excess in demand. Excess in demand, the demand for services far surpasses the maximum available capacity. Second, demand exceeds optimum capacity. Demand exceeds optimum capacity. Quality of experience in this situation is deteriorating. Third, balance demand and supply at optimum capacity. Balance demand and supply at optimum capacity. This condition reflects that the ideal situation for both the organization and the customers. Managing demand. Managing demand has always been one of the primary considerations of service organizations to mix productivity. In order to manage fluctuating demand in a service business, it is must to understand the nature of demand, including demand patterns, reasons of fluctuation, and the marketing segments that create demand at any given point in time. First, predictable cycles. Predictable cycles, this refers to the periodic increase and decrease of demand levels at a specific time, which may transpire at different intervals. Second, random demand fluctuations. Random demand fluctuations, contrary to the first condition, sometimes demand appears to be random. Third, demand patterns by market segments. Demand patterns by market segments. A service organization that has true knowledge about its customer may be able to come up with a strategy in order to cater more appropriately to its customer. Upon learning about the patterns of demand among the different market segments, an organization can focus to demand manage activities. There are several basic approaches to manage of demand. First, take no actions and leave demand to find its own levels. Second, reduce demand during low period. Third, increase demand using a queuing system. Fourth, inventory demand using reservation system.
Molding demand patterns through marketing mix elements. Organizations often approach management of demand based on what fits their style and resources. The freedom to choose and the diversity of choices demand management has led organizations to be creative and resourceful. Many organizations utilize the elements of marketing mix as tools to manage demand since it directly affects the customers. Number 1. Use price and non-monetary costs to manage demand. The use if pricing is one of the most utilized way of balancing supply and demand. Changes in price has an immediate and direct effect on the decision-making process of customers. 2. Change product elements. There are service organizations that offer products that even any amount of price discounts would translate to having business. In order to encourage customer demand, a new service product needs to be introduced. 3. Modify place and time of delivery for services that are continuously offered at a specified time and place. Service organization can capitalize to market needs by adjusting the time and place of delivery. Vary, vary the times when the service is available. Second, offer the service to customers to a new location. And last, promotion and education. Number 4, organization can always use the multimedia to inform its clients about its operations, innovations, and changes through advertising, publicity, or sales promotion. A strong communication effort may help in managing demand if the other elements of the marketing mix are constant. Factors affecting capacity. A. At time among several service organizations, the primary constant on service production is time. If the period of work of an employee is not used productively because of some reasons, then some profits are lost. Or in case there is a high level of demand at a certain period of time, an additional time cannot be created in order to satisfy the demand. B. Labor for service organizations that employ a number of employees. Labor can be the primary capacity constraint in cases that demand fluctuates and for some reason persists for some time, then the service organizations will be very concerned with idle labor and extra costs. C. Facilities. Many other organizations are limited by the facilities that they can provide. Service organizations like hotels can only sell a certain number of rooms. Spas are limited to the number of bath areas, and restaurants are restricted to the number of table seats. There are shortages in matching capacity and demand that are focused on the increasing demand. During conditions where demand for service is low, the following may be considered with the aforementioned situation. A. Agree with customers. B. Convert how the facility is used. C. Modify the service offering. D. Differentiate on price.
Different types of queues. Number 1. Single line sequential stage. In this system, customers pass through several serving operations or segments as in a buffet line. Number 2. Parallel lines to multiple servers. This applies to establishments that cater to a big number of people at any given time. Number 3. Single line to multiple servers. This is also known as a snake. In contrast to parallel line in multiple servers system, issues about line speed movements are addressed. Number 4. Designated lines. This system segregates lines for different customers based on specific categories. Number 5. Take a number upon entry to the establishment. Customers are provided with numbers from an automated counter. Number 6. Waiting list. Food service establishments usually use this type of queuing system where customers are requested to provide their names along with the size of the group. Psychology of waiting time. The following are how people perceive waiting time at different conditions. Unoccupied time feels longer than occupied time. Pre-process waits feels longer than in-process waits. Anxiety makes waits seems longer. Unexplained waits are longer than explained waits. Unfair waits are longer than equitable waits. The more valuable the service, the longer the customer will wait. Solo waits feels longer than group waits. Physically uncomfortable waits feels longer than comfortable waits.